What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mike Collier Live. It's your guy, Mike Collier, and this is your agent spotlight with none other than the Miss Robyn Amos. Robyn, what's going on? How you feeling today?
I feel amazing, Mike. What's going on? What's up, social media? I don't even know what platforms you got this on, but hey,
we got it on all of them.
That's
we got it on all of them. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're going to be on Instagram, we're going to be on all of them.
All right. Hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. So, listen, I want the people to know who you are. Robyn, you are freaking killing it right now. You are leading from the front, leading by example, and people need to know what you're doing, what you're up to, how you're doing what you're doing, why you're even doing what you're doing, right? Like, how did all of this come about? So before we even get into that, let's tell the people who Miss Robyn Amos is. So tell us, who is Robyn Amos?
Well, Robyn Amos is first off a mother. I have a beautiful little girl who's 7 years old, Miss Avery, which we just celebrated her birthday. Yes, other than that, I'm a good friend. I'm a business owner. I also consider myself a serial entrepreneur. I've done a few things along my journey. And I'm just in a place right now where I've come to my real estate journey started many years ago. I know people see me moving and shaking now and think this is something new. But those who've known me for a while know that it started about 13 years ago. And we'll get into like the details of that.
Yeah.
But throughout that journey, I've done several different things. For the last 11 years, I helped a friend and helped her run her business, which is a fitness center. Shout out to Titus Fitness. And I did great things there. But with many things in life, there comes a season. Everything has a season. And my season was done there. And I had to take the step, jump out on faith, and depend on Robyn 100% to take care of Avery, which is scary as a mom. But you never know what you're capable of until you do it. So, throughout that process and over the years, I own my own photography company as well. I always stay connected to real estate. About 50% of my photography revenue actually was from shooting real estate. Agents love me because I was an agent, so they really had to give me a lot of directions and guide me. They kind of like, I showed up with my camera and I was like, yeah, I got this. Get out the way, sit back. And they always were very pleased with the work. But that's because I knew what buyers were looking for and the importance of how your first impression online was. So so I've always stayed connected to. I've always loved real estate, so I always stayed connected. Just was out of production for a while, and I came back into production actually a year this month. I've been back in the business, and man, since May though, it's been like a rocket launch.
I know, and that's what I say. We're gonna get into all of that. But take us back though, because what is that I detect? Is that a New York accent? Is that no? I'm kidding.
No. First of all, you know good and well I'm from the A.
Yes, ma'am.
Me and Mike go way back about 20 plus years. Ooh. Back to past reading, Miller Grove. Yes. Way back in the 90s, middle school, yes. And it's interesting. It's funny now how a lot of our Raider friends and classmates, we actually connect so well in business now. So it's just exciting to, do that. So I grew up, I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Went to Redan High School, Redan Raiders, class of 98.
Raider.
Left Redan, went to Georgia State, where I met some more incredible people in my life, and I just been a journey.
Now, what did you get your degree in?
You know what, Mike? That's an interesting story. I actually did not finish. I completed about 3 years. Back then, my degree was in marketing. But a part of my story is I started working. I started working for AT&T when I was about 19 years old. And back then it was actually Singular Wireless. And I actually worked there for about 10 years. And then I resigned. And that's when I was going to do real estate full time. But God had other plans. But man, it's hard being 22, 23 years old, being on the phone, selling and making $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year. It's hard to stay focused on finishing your degree. yeah, so that was always my struggle. It was like, yeah, I know I need to get the degree, but it's people at my job who got degrees and we all make the same amount of money. So
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
that's what kind of led me to real estate, because I wanted to do something where I had, great earning potential, but it wouldn't require me to go back to school. So yeah, I'm kind of like
And
some, and I
I'm
love
glad
that
you
story about myself because all of the big billionaires of the world dropped out of school. So I think highly of my goals. So
well, and that's what I was going to say. I'm glad you brought that up because that is tends to be a recurring theme, right? So like we have, I had Andrew Sweet on here recently, and Lingo Smith was on here. And one of the things we were talking about was continuation of school, starting school, and some have finished, some haven't, right? But they're killing it in real estate. And we find that so many people in our industry, I guess we tend to be rebels, right? I personally did finish my degree, but honestly, had I known what I know, what I know now, it may look a little different. Quite honestly, I don't know that I would have chosen to
I think the
spend.
college experiences are unmatched though. Some of the greatest friends I have in my life, I met them in college. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I
Oh,
would.
absolutely.
Yeah,
The college experience in and of itself. I just don't know that I need to spend $150,000 for the college experience. You know what I mean? I'd rather be making that instead of spending that. Is all I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I can go visit college campuses and get
The college experience.
exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely.
No, but it's a great thing. All right, so let's talk. Let's go back a little bit. 7 years ago, you had your daughter Avery, right?
Yes.
Now, were you already doing real estate? Had you already made the launch into real estate at that point, or
No, at that time I was actually running a fitness center full time. So I wasn't doing real estate at all. I was running a fitness center and having my photography company. Those are the things that I was
okay,
doing when I got pregnant with
okay,
my daughter. Yeah. So
okay? And
I was
so,
in production at that time.
so what was the catalyst for you to go ahead get your? I mean, I know you said you've always been interested in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
but interest alone doesn't spur action. So what was it that allowed you or made you want to go ahead and take the actionable steps of actually getting your license and stepping into the game?
The first time or the second time?
Both.
The first time, I just always loved real estate, and I've always been a person who studies wealth, studies progress. And I read Rich Dad Poor Dad probably about four times probably, but I remember reading it in high school, and that just always stuck with me. How you can build wealth through real estate. And so the first time around, I didn't have any children. I wanted to help people, but I also wanted to add value while making money. In this business, the more valuable you are, the more money you make, I think.
Man.
So if you lead with value, the money follows. So that was kind of my main goal the first time around. But it was tough then. I was much younger. Patience not the same. You're talking about 26, 27-year-old Robyn versus 40-year-old Robyn,
Yeah.
non-mother Robyn. So that's why I didn't, kind of didn't stick to it like I should have back then. But this time around, it was all about my daughter. It was still the value aspect was there, but I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt I needed to create a business that I could add value. I could change the financial trajectory of not just my life, but of generations to come. So I want to, my biggest thing is I never want my child to make a decision based on money.
Yeah.
So in order for her to do that, I have to establish my own wealth and a legacy for her so that when she becomes of age to decide if she wants to either go to college or travel the world for her first year out, she can do it.
Man.
She can do it. If she says she wants to go to whatever school, back when we was in school, man, your parents had to think about out of state fees. I remember that being a big deal and actually kind of shaping my decision
Yep.
for college.
Yep.
Because it was a drastic difference. But but I don't want my child to feel like she's missing out or her decisions are shaped because of money.
Right.
So I'm taking that totally away. And when she gets, 17, 18, and it's time to make those decisions, she'll be happy, she can do it. So
Mm.
that's what drove me back to production this time around. It was she was definitely my catalyst. And
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that nobody controlled my earning potential but me. I'm the person who controls how much money I make. Period.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about have you always been goal oriented? Like, do you have an idea of where you're going to be, in 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 months,
I
or
can,
3 years?
yeah, absolutely. I definitely have always been goal oriented. I think most of my friends, family can say that about me, but I didn't always execute properly, and I didn't stay consistent.
Mm.
So this time around, with the help of many people and just aligning myself with the right people, I got real clear. But to be honest, like my clarity and all of this came from therapy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
man. Okay.
yeah, back in 2018, my uncle passed away in December. My dad died when I was 13. And my uncle Willie was like that male figure in my life that stepped in until my mom got remarried. And, of course, now my stepdad. But he was always been, my entire life, he's been one of the men that was always a constant figure in my life. And so it was a big hit to our family when he passed away. And then, like the next month, man, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Mm.
And, like the next few months, her sister died unexpectedly.
Mm.
I feel like I was already having some trouble, but those things were like big blows to my emotional state.
Right.
I kind of went through most of 2019 kind of just like in a blur. I would definitely say it was the worst year of my adulthood. And when 2020 hit, I made some changes, and I started therapy like 2 weeks before the pandemic.
Really?
And through the therapy process, um, learning about myself, dealing with things that I needed to deal with, becoming more aware, and just working through things, I started to get real clear on what I wanted my life to look like. And I felt like that even though my life wasn't bad, um, it wasn't what I created for myself.
Yeah.
So I needed to live a life by design for these latter years of my life. And the only way that I was going to do that is I had to make some hard decisions. But clarity is the main thing that came from me that propelled me back into real estate. And I think I have to attribute that to my, some of my, a lot of my success now.
Yeah.
Because I'm very clear on what I want. And even if I don't know the how, I know that this is what it is and how we're going to figure it out. But I'm clear as what the goals are.
Well, as it goes, focus on the why and the how will appear.
Absolutely. That's a
If you
big
focus on the goal, you focus on the vision. Once you're set and you start leveraging relationships, leveraging resources that are available to you, as in therapy, as in real estate partners, as in all of the things that you now have access to, whether it's YouTube University or whatever else you have, the how will appear. And so it sounds like and we talked about this in my last episode, which is on the other side of tragedy, there's triumph, right? There's two sides of that coin. And you started therapy just before COVID started in March 2020, right?
Yeah.
Shut everything down. Thank goodness you were already in therapy. I can't imagine if that had happened on top of all of that and you hadn't been talking to everybody.
It was such a blessing that I was already in therapy.
Yeah. But it's so, let me ask you this, and this is on that topic. Therapy is such a taboo topic, especially amongst the Black community, but especially communities of color. It's such a taboo topic. How were you able to, did you feel ashamed at all? Was there any, was there any reservation before you decided to go do that? Like, man, do I really need to go talk to somebody?
Yeah. So for me, therapy was a necessity.
Hmm.
I, well, I, I definitely felt like, I just felt like all control of my life was slipping away from me. And my daughter deserved the best version of her mother.
Ooh.
I think what people confuse about therapy, or why it's so taboo. You know, I don't want to sit on a couch and tell me my story. The most thing that I've gotten about therapy is that it's made me highly self-aware. So if I used to be a person you couldn't tell me much. Like I didn't take constructive criticism well. All of these things. But learning yourself through therapy, because of course in therapy people talk about what people have done to them. Oh yes, this happened, this happened. We've all had things done to us. But one of the most things that stick with me is Will Smith has a video and he talks about fault versus responsibility.
Hmm.
Now, throughout life, we have many things that happen to us that, of course, it's just not our fault. If you were abused, if your parents abandoned you, all these things that can happen to you growing up or just throughout life. It's never your fault, generally, right? But if you want to continue on, it's damn sure your responsibility
Hmm.
to take control of your healing so that you can be a better version of yourself. Because once you become a better version of yourself, your career will be better, your marriages, your relationships will be better, your friendships will be better, you'll be a better parent. All those things start to align properly when you become self-aware enough to say, hey, yes, people do things to me, but it's also some things that I've probably done to people as a result of that I need to take responsibility for and work on. So I started
Hmm.
to listen more. I started to not react. I started to not take things all so personal. I grew emotionally and became aware. And it's evident in all the things that I do today, because that's how I handle people in my life now. And I'm not perfect. I mean, I still have my moments, but from an overall picture, I know for sure that that's what it did for me. So
Man, that's
we have to take responsibility for our healing.
that's extremely powerful. I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people who watch this. Um, just being able to have the vulnerability and, like you said, taking the responsibility and allowing yourself to live life by design, not by excuse. You know, there's a lot of everybody has their own story, right? There's a lot of stuff that happened, like you said, when we were kids, but it's up to us to change that story and shape the rest of that story. And so let's fast forward to the move that you made to EXP Realty, right? And so it was um, it was probably about a year ago. Well, no, what was it? 6 months? How long has it been? 3 months?
Oh, for what? EXP?
Yeah,
No, 60 days. I just got an email. 60
60
days.
days. All right.
I
So
know
so
it sounds
60
funny,
days.
like it's only been 60 days.
Listen, you're killing it. It feels like you've been here forever. All right. All right. So 60 days ago,
Mhm.
you made a very powerful decision that would shape the rest of your real estate career. Let's talk about how you came to that decision. You were already working at a brokerage.
Mhm.
You had your license hung at a brokerage. How was that experience for you? How was that culture, and what prompted the change? What did you see that made you make that change?
When I came back into production, I had a very different idea of what my goals were. Just not being in production for so long, when you think you're going back into production, you think, oh, the industry is like this and the industry is like that. So the brokerage I went to, I went to that brokerage because it aligned with what I thought at that time was my path in real estate coming back into production. And it was a small brokerage. It was an owner brokerage. Shout out to Adria DeMont. Her husband is actually a reader and rater Ron.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
we're still great friends. But she's of course an owner brokerage. So she was very helpful, very instrumental in my first few deals. She was available. She took my calls. But I knew I wanted to grow to another level, and I needed to find my place that I would be able to do that. So that's how EXP came into the picture. Now, I will say EXP is a great company, but I was still very strategic about who I aligned myself with at EXP. So that's kind of how you and I got to talking more and more. And, we did, hung out. We talk shop a lot. I like talking shop. And you just start telling me some of the things that EXP offers. Some of the I'm really into like the stock market. So the fact that this company is a publicly traded company, but it's only owned by its agents was a big deal to me because it allowed me to see that, okay, I can really invest and make passive money. And, these things really start to, just all click and make sense. And I made a lot of investments coming back into the business from coaching and things like that. And that's some of the things that you offer to me in addition to the EXP umbrella. Our team is great. Shout out to the ambassador team. But we meet, we talk, we're aligned, and it's just nonstop coaching. It's ongoing. Right. Even I know you're in Florida, but you connected me with great people here in Atlanta who, we're able to keep that going. Another read-and rater, James Massey, who's we all know if you in EXP, you know who James Massey is, right, for sure. And so that's kind of what drove me to EXP. I really did my research on it, but I didn't do so much research that I had analysis paralysis. After a few key things, I knew that my decision would be to go with EXP as my broker.
Well, and listen, you've already closed your first listing here. You've already got your next list. I mean, you tell the story. I mean, but as a result of you closing deals, you're already gaining stock with the company. You've already started partnering with agents, actually even growing your own brand, your Revest brand on the EXP platform, right? So now you're kind of creating your own brokerage without even having a broker's license. Your agents are starting to kill it. Like, talk to us about it. Tell the people, right?
Yeah, what's so funny is when I initially came to SB, I said, Mike, I'm focused on production. I'm not, I know it's agent attraction. But the thing is, once you start showing that this is really that you show value, you'll start getting the inboxes, you'll start getting the calls and say, hey, and you just never know who's watching you, never know who's watching you. And it's always good to just be your authentic self. So you kind of shaped me and helped me understand the power of agent attraction. And for me, I just was like, hey, I want to tell people what's great about it. I want them to feel like I felt coming into this group of wonderful people. So I am focused on, telling as many agents as I can about this great opportunity. Because it's phenomenal. I think there's people out there who, may try to duplicate it. But for me, like hands down, to see, to know a percentage of every closing is automatically goes into discounted stock. We know how the market works. $20 today is $100. $20 stocks today is $100 tomorrow. I mean, and I got that, and I got it at a discount. So simply by being a part of the brokerage. So it's just been phenomenal. I'm it's putting me in a space to really kind of walk into my leadership role. Throughout my journey, I've always been able to help people and assist people that were leaders in my life. But now I see that, God wants me in this position. And so he's putting me in that path and putting people in my life that allows me to do that and help them. And it's for me, it's all about value. It's all about value. It's all about, I can't wait. I've brought on 2 agents already, and I just simply can't wait to help them get their first deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what drives me.
So what are you most looking forward to? What is the next year? And listen, we've embarked on the 12-week year starting this week, right? We got
my week is 12. My year is 12 weeks, Mike.
That's right. That's right. 12 weeks at a time. So over these next 12 weeks, you're expecting great things, but what can we expect from the Revest brand?
From the Revest brand, you can expect Personally, my goal is to bring in as many people and help them understand the power of. I think my goal with agents is for them to stop just being an agent. Let's truly create businesses. So my goal and the things that I've done is I'm creating a business. I made the first hires in my company this week. I hired the first hire I made about a month ago is a transaction coordinator, because shout out to my TC, she's the best. And then, but last week I hired a salesperson and I hired an admin. We talked about this before, but in my disc personality, I'm a high I person. Like, I'm a high I person. I love people. I love connections. But with that comes not as much. I pay attention to the details, but the paperwork, I'm going to review it and make sure it's correct. But just the day-to-day tasks, those are good things for me to delegate so that I can focus on my strong points and my revenue generating activities, which are going on listing appointments and closing deals, negotiating deals, and things like that. So so instead of, I've taken the money that I've made and I've reinvested into my business. And what's crazy is Revest, my company's name, is just another word for reinvest. And it's amazing because that's what I felt like, me coming back into production and coming back and, starting a new business, a new company. It's all about me reinvesting into myself, my child, my community. So those are the things that I see for next year. I definitely want to have a solid team. Buyers agents that are on the Revest team continue to grow. More agents in my organization is definitely a goal. And I want to make a big impact in the community. All my friends who got kids who play sports and things. Avery, she's not really into that, but I want to have so much value that, hey, well, how much the jerseys cost? I'm gonna buy all of them. We just gonna put my logo on them. My logo gonna be on the sleeve. Like now they got the sponsored. They got. Yeah, that's me. Like I want to make an impact in the community, and that's what the money is for. The money is all about your freedom and helping more people.
Community reinvestment, personal reinvestment, community reinvestment, and legacy. All of that.
Yes.
Listen, you leading from the front, you continue to get these listings, and you focusing on listings is allowing you to create opportunities for more agents to be able to help you with the buyers that come to the listings. And if they're not buying those listings, they're looking for something else, right? And so it becomes a multiplying business where you become this rainmaker and you're able to help agents understand how to build a business rather than focus on being real estate agents. And I think that is extremely powerful and is much needed in the community as well. So my hat's off to you. My salute to you. You already know it's nothing but love. I am so proud that you chose to partner with me at EXP, the Ambassador Group. We are making moves, and it's only the beginning. So our agents in Florida and Georgia, we got California possibly coming on here pretty soon. So
moving and shaking.
Moving and shaking.
I was born in Alabama, so I gotta get some of my Alabama family.
You gotta get it. Yeah, we gotta get Alabama on, and we're a global company. We're in 17 different countries already, right? So
all states, yes.
This is happening. This is happening very, very soon. But I appreciate you coming on with Mike Collier Live. Agent Spotlight. I hope you had fun.
This was fun. This is fun. This is a part of my 12-week plan to get this going. So this was a great little tester for me.
Good. That's right. Yeah. Hey, look, Robyn's going to start her podcast here pretty soon. Everybody's going to have a podcast here pretty soon, and everybody's got something to say. They've got a vision. They've got goals, and we just want to share them with you all. And if you know anybody who is interested in real estate in the Atlanta area, have them hit Robyn up. If you know anybody who is looking to sell or buy or is a real estate agent, or even if you yourself are considering becoming a real estate agent, you just have questions about this whole wealth and legacy thing and building a business and how does this whole thing work, right? Holla at us, okay? Just reach out.
reach out.
It's very simple. It's very simple. Just reach out for a conversation. But thank you again, Robyn. We'll talk to you real soon.
All right. Awesome.
Absolutely. Take care, everybody.
Good night.